I'm Nick Goldschmidt. I'm a winemaker here in Sonoma and Napa counties, and I have 5 children, and I make a wine with each one of my daughters. Chelsea Goldschmidt, we make a Merlot. We make a Merlot from here in Dry Creek, and we also make a Merlot from the Alexander Valley. Catherine, who is one of a twin, we make a Catherine Goldschmidt Cabernet from the Alexander Valley. And then Hilary Goldschmidt, who's my youngest daughter, we make a Cabernet from the Napa Valley. Looking primarily at Merlot, I wanted to make a Merlot with Chelsea that was going to be a little bit more full and fleshy and more reminiscent of a Cabernet type Merlot. I think too many Merlots are being made or were being made that were a little bit more herbaceous, a little bit more spicy, so I wanted to go away from that direction. And then in terms of the mouth, I wanted to make a wine that was fuller and richer, but still have the suppleness of tannins that Merlot are known for. And there's a lot of changes that have gone on in Merlot. Everyone says, you know, the heyday of Merlot is gone, but I really see it coming back. There's about 13,000 acres in California of Merlot that have been pulled out and never been replaced. So the Merlot that's been left in California is of much higher quality than the Merlot that was even around 5 years ago. So if I look at that Merlot from the Alexander Valley, we get a lot of ripe berry, a lot of red cherry, a little bit of cola, and good complexity. I put a little bit of wood on this wine. It has about 10% new wood. And get a lot of vibrancy, a lot of black fruit, a little bit of walnut from the wood, but then a lot of deep, dark cherry characters. And this vineyard in the Alexander Valley, to be very specific, everything I do is one vineyard, one vintage, one variety. I don't blend anything. But this Merlot in the Alexander Valley comes from a vineyard on 128, just east of Geyserville, very near a couple of wineries that are up there. And then we also make a Dry Creek Merlot, and that Dry Creek Merlot comes from right here on this property where I live. And we've lived here for a number of years. And this wine from the Dry Creek appellation is very, very similar. Maybe has a little bit more red fruit in than the Alexander Valley, but side by side, they're very, very similar. As far as the Catherine Cabernet goes, this vineyard is also in the Alexander Valley, but it's on the border of Geysers Road. It goes up to the geothermal area in the Alexander Valley, and Red Winery Road. If you can imagine where that is, the neighbors for this are Garden Creek, Lancaster, and Robert Young. And this is a vineyard that I worked with for many, many years at Simi. And it went into the Simi's Reserve Cabernet that sold for about 70, 75 bucks for about 15 years. Luckily these days, we managed to have this vineyard for the Catherine Cabernet, and we've been making this wine since 2006. And this wine has attracted a lot of attention. Again, like the Chelsea Merlot, a lot of wine by the glass pours. A lot of concentration, a little bit more new wood than what we put in with the Merlot, and a lot of classic Cabernet characters, a lot of sort of black cherry and black fruits, a little briary. And the mouth is full on. It's almost sort of got the characteristics of a Malbec, very supple tannins, very rich mouthfeel, but at the same time it has that real intensity of what Cabernet should be about, and gives that little bit of structure just to finish that wine off. Great density and great persistence, but at the same time a very elegant wine. And the last wine is a new wine for us. We started making the Hilary Goldschmidt Napa Valley in 2007, and this wine is classic Napa Valley. It's very fruit forward, very fruit driven, a little bit more power and weight than you would typically see in the Napa Valley for a wine of this price. And the mouth, again, a lot of black cherry, a lot of black fruit. And the mouth is just so rich and so intense, it just really, really lingers. And this is a great wine. So all 3 sisters have been performing really well and great wines, and again, one vineyard, one vintage, one variety, all east facing, all cane pruned, and just great neighbors as well, who are charging at least twice the price. Cheers, I hope you enjoy the wines.